one of the very first things we learn is the Pledge of Allegiance, which states that liberty and justice is for us all.
Hundreds of Northside High School students walked out of their schools just after noon Monday, part of a student-organized walkout and rally.
When you see something wrong, something unjust, we have the moral obligation to do something about it.
Similar scenes playing out in the suburbs, where students of Streamwood High School also walked out. On Chicago's North Side, students from Amundsen, Mather, and Roosevelt High Schools, as well as Northside College Prep, trekked to River Park, rallying in protest of the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations.
Families torn apart. Children are painfully separated from their parents. And hard-working people who contribute greatly to our economy are forced to live in fear.
About a dozen students taking a turn at the mic, sharing different perspectives of the impact they say federal agents have had on their classmates, neighborhoods, and families.
If you are a minority, you are a target. If you stand up to them, you are a target. They don't abide by the Constitution, and they don't abide by the law.
Some referencing the deaths of 2 American citizens at the hands of federal agents in Minnesota. Others calling their peers to action.
This is our chance to elect people that are for the people, that fight for the people, not those who fight for who donates the most money.
And while several elected leaders were in attendance, they made sure to point out this rally was organized by students.
I want to thank you all for having the courage a lot of adults don't have. You all are out here, you organized this whole thing. This was all done by the students to make sure their voices are heard and to call out people who don't have the courage enough to say that I should be abolished and gone, period. Woo!
Rob Hughes, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Rob, thanks so much for that report. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says that all agents from the department who are working on immigration enforcement in Minnesota will be given body cameras immediately. Investigators in last month's deadly shooting of Alex Preddy say they are looking at body camera video showing the shooting. In a post on social media, the secretary goes on to say that the goal is to have all agents fitted with the cameras nationwide. The medical examiner today ruling Preddy's death a homicide.
A 5-year-old Liam Conejo Ramos and his father back home with family today after a judge ordered their release from an immigration detention facility in Texas. The two flew back to Minneapolis yesterday. Their lawyer says they're seeking asylum and are in this country legally. The Department of Justice plans to appeal. Meanwhile, a partial government shutdown is still in effect as Democratic lawmakers demand reforms to ICE.
Republicans had to negotiate with us to pass any bill. They had to listen to the American people calling out for change.
On Friday, the Senate passed a bill that separates funding for the Department of Homeland Security. The House may vote on it tomorrow.
Illinois' Attorney General advocates and Amazon announcing a partnership today to help domestic violence survivors. 1,000 Ring camera subscriptions and more could help them have peace of mind. And as ABC7's Ravi Bechwa reports, the Attorney General calling this among the most important initiative in his office.
Last week's home invasion in Oswego, where the ex-husband of 41-year-old Ashley Stewart is alleged to have killed her with a knife in her garage, highlighting the ongoing threat victims of domestic violence face. Her current husband says he saw the suspect via remote surveillance video and called police. Amazon-owned Ring cameras, often in the news showing porch pirates, explosions, and other random events, will now be given to more people dealing with the dread of violence from someone they know.
Survivors of domestic violence deserve to feel secure.
The Illinois Coalition Against Domestic Violence is distributing the cameras across the state's 102 counties. Amazon also donated $25,000 during Domestic Violence Awareness Month in October.
This innovative Ring technology will save lives. We are confident of that. Not only will there be peace of mind to survivors and their families, but there will be assistance in prosecutions and civil trials just because of the evidence now that will be available as a result of the Ring cameras.
The AG's office has $5.5 million this year to help survivors with support groups and food and clothing and reimbursements for expenses incurred because of crimes such as counseling, medical costs, and lost earnings from missed work. Last year, the office received over 250 new applicants to the Address Confidentiality Program, which provides a substitute address for survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, human trafficking, and stalking. Amazon intensified its giving after a pilot project in Houston saved a victim.
She received a motion alert that alerted her that her abuser was approaching her home with a weapon.
There are some 78 agencies statewide combating domestic violence, and a $500,000 donation from Amazon in these devices and their subscriptions should go some way to protect people.
These Ring cameras that they're offering offer peace of mind.
I'm Ravi Bajwal, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Ravi, thank you. This is our Royal Sonesta downtown Chicago River Cam. It's looking much milder today. It felt different.
I know, right? Like warmer, even in the 20s. It was like, wow. I felt like Marsha Brady after, she was that episode. Do you remember the episode after the football incident? It was like, wow. Yeah.
It's Groundhog Day, too.
Yeah.
Happy Groundhog Day.
So it depends on who you believe, right?
I believe
does.
Woodstock Willie.
And it depends on who you believe, but would you believe that Woodstock Willie, while good, is kind of middling in the state of groundhog weather prediction, which of course is a very cutting edge area of meteorology that must be looked at. So in 2025, NOAA did a little bit of homework. Now these groundhogs, they had to have at least a 20-year track record of doing predictions, and they went and they rated them versus basically data that said was an early arrival or a late arrival of spring. And Staten Island Chuck, a mind-numbingly accurate number, 85% accuracy. So if you're going to believe a groundhog, you should believe Staten Island Chuck. Now, that being said...
What did he say today?
What did he say today?
So he said more winter.
No.
But the data doesn't back that up when you look at the CPC.
We go on with Woodstock.
They are saying that we go into a warming trend. So watching that very closely. Satellite and radar here for tonight. We got cloud cover in place. We'll see a few scattered snow showers right around midnight. Not going to be around for your commute tomorrow. And yeah, temperatures will be back in the mid-20s. I'll show you when we break our very long streak of being below freezing coming up, guys.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for the breakdown. Campaign coffers are filling up in the race to fill Dick Durbin's U.S. Senate seat when he leaves. Financial reports just filed by the three leading candidates show Governor J.B. Pritzker opening up his wallet for Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton. Craig Wall looks at the money in politics heading into the home stretch of the campaign.
After sitting on the financial sidelines for much of this Senate campaign, Governor J.B. Pritzker is finally putting his money where his lieutenant governor is by sending millions to a political action committee that is funding new TV ads for her. Days after the ABC7 Democratic Senate Candidates Forum, the push for votes is amping up on TV and in the campaign coffers. Congresswoman Robin Kelly releasing her first TV ad in the race, hoping to raise her visibility and support among undecided voters.
I'm running for Senate, and I approve this message because it's time to dismantle ICE and get it the hell out of Illinois.
We must start by abolishing ICE.
A new ad supporting Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton focusing on the same anti-ICE theme. This and two other ads paid for by the Illinois Futures Political Action Committee, funded in large part by Governor J.B. Pritzker. Just released financial disclosures show Pritzker gave $5 million to the PAC.
Pritzker may have been waiting to see how her campaign unfolded and to see how strong of a candidate she is. He also may be looking at the more intense period of the campaign, which is now, thinking that this would be the best time to boost her candidacy.
Donald Trump has weaponized ICE against our cities and our people.
Congressman Raja Krishnamurthy is the current frontrunner. He's been running TV ads since last summer and continues to pump them out due to his massive campaign war chest. But with a recent independent poll showing nearly a third of voters still undecided, there's still a chance for Stratton and Kelly to make a move and make the race closer as the March 17th primary approaches.
The race has been fairly lopsided until now, and people have not really been paying attention. I think things are going to heat up very quickly, and you're going to see this as being a very competitive, very heated race down to the home stretch.
Over the next 6 weeks, voters are likely to pay a lot more attention to the Senate race, and while money will certainly fuel the campaigns, the ability of the candidates to get their voters to the polls will also be key. Early voting starts next week. Craig Wall, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Craig, thanks. New staff requirements now in effect. A local group starting a new program to help recipients keep their benefits.
An urgent search is underway for today's show's Savannah Guthrie's mom. Why investigators say her disappearance is being treated as a crime. I'm ABC's Melissa Adon with those details next.
And we want you to take a look at this. It's a winter storm taking down a house. Yeah, that was a house. Yeah, in North Carolina. How the wicked weather is impacting states all along the East Coast. We'll be right back. The latest now on the disappearance of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie's mother. Investigators in Arizona say Nancy Guthrie was last seen at her home north of Tucson over the weekend. They now say she was taken in her sleep, kidnapped after sleeping early in the morning. ABC's Melissa Adon has the latest tonight on this investigation.
An urgent search involving the FBI is underway in Arizona for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie.
Right now, we don't see this as a search mission as much as we do a crime scene.
The Pima County Sheriff's Department investigating her disappearance as a crime, saying they saw concerning things in the home but did not elaborate.
There were circumstances on scene that we believe are suspicious in nature, I think is the best way to put it, but we can't really get into a whole lot of details with that now.
Investigators say Nancy Guthrie was last seen at her home north of Tucson around 9:45 on Saturday night. She was reported missing yesterday by her family after they were told she was not at church.
She is very limited in her mobility, right? We know she didn't just walk out of there. That we know.
The Sheriff's Department saying they are concerned for her health.
This is a 84-year-old lady who suffers from some physical ailments, has some physical challenges, is in need of medication that if she doesn't have in 24 hours, it could be fatal.
Savannah Guthrie released a statement on her family's behalf by NBC News saying, in part, "I want to thank everyone for the thoughts, prayers, and messages of support. Right now, our focus remains on the safe return of our dear mom." The Pima County Sheriff desperately asking for the community's help in this missing persons case.
We don't need another bad, tragic ending.
Investigators say they are reviewing cameras at Nancy Guthrie's home where she lives alone and employs staff. The sheriff is also urging neighbors to go through their own surveillance video and report anything to police. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
We are thinking about Savannah tonight and our friends over at the Today Show and NBC, of course. Thanks for that report. It is a case back here that remains unsolved even after nearly 2 decades. Well, today marking 18 years since 5 women were murdered inside the Lane Bryant store in Tinley Park. 1 woman did survive.
And now a new documentary revisits these murders and the mystery still surrounding it. John Garcia takes a closer look.
Stay on the line, stay on the line.
A 911 call from the store manager sent police to the scene, but the killer was able to escape minutes earlier. It was February 2nd, 2008, a Saturday morning. The crime horrified the entire Chicago area and beyond. Few expected it would go unsolved for this long.
You know, at the end of the day, it comes down to somebody knows. And shame on that person for keeping it quiet so long.
Mike Hudek lost his 33-year-old sister in the shooting. Carrie Chioso was a social worker from Frankfurt. The 4 other women killed were from the south suburbs and Indiana. Police maintained it started as an armed robbery and led to sexual assault and then the murders. 1 other victim survived and helped police develop this sketch of the suspect, a black man in his late 20s with cornrowed hair and a receding hairline.
That's a good question.
The film's director, Charlie Min, who has produced about 45 other documentaries about unsolved crimes, says Tinley Park police have done a poor job.
Solve it already. It's been 18 freaking years, and the families deserve better, a lot better.
Min spent about 4 months working on the documentary, talking to families of the victims, witnesses, and others. He says he's troubled by some of the facts in the case, such as why the killer spent about 40 minutes inside the store before leaving, and why he would rob a women's clothing store on a Saturday morning in the first place. But he says the answers are out there.
Tinley Park PD will not solve this case. Social media will. That's why I'm making this documentary, to raise as much awareness as possible.
Tinley Park leaders say solving the horrific crime remains a major priority. In a statement, Mayor Michael Glotz says we're more determined than ever to solving this case. Our diligence has never wavered, nor has our passion for seeking justice for the women we lost that day. Mike Hudek still hopes for answers, but says his anger has softened over the years.
To be quite honest with you, I've forgiven this person because I had to. I couldn't keep living and going down that dark rabbit hole of what if and what and why, because it doesn't matter.
John Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, John, thank you for that. New work requirements now in place for people who receive SNAP benefits. Adults up to age 64 must work or volunteer at least 80 hours a month to maintain their benefits. Meals on Wheels, which serves a large number of SNAP recipients, has launched a new initiative called SNAP Together Volunteers. It is specifically designed for people 55 and over, but they are accepting volunteers at all ages.
Can come and assist with setup, distribution, checking in other seniors. You know, at Meals on Wheels Chicago, we like to say we're people helping people. And so now this program is seniors helping seniors.
Well, volunteers will be helping at the Nourish Chicago Pantry.
Early spring on the way or more winter? You know, it's Groundhog Day, and those furry forecasters around the country disagreeing on their predictions. We're going to take an even closer look tonight.
And for now, winter is definitely hanging around. Your chilly AccuWeather forecast is coming up as we take a live look at the beautiful city on this Monday, everybody.
More than 110 people have died in the past 2 weeks because of winter weather hammering large parts of this country. As ABC's Rena Roy reports, even parts of Florida saw snow flurries.
More than 60 million Americans were under cold weather alerts this morning from Massachusetts to Miami. In the southeast, a winter storm dumping more than a foot of snow in some areas. The governor of North Carolina declaring a state of emergency with nearly 1,000 traffic collisions reported in the state. You can see multiple cars in ditches. Officials warning drivers to stay off the roads, with many still covered in dangerous ice.
We had the kind of snowstorm that we don't get very often. Many roads will be bad in many places across the state for days to come.
This patrol car tire completely frozen in the frigid temps. And more than 100 drivers stranded for hours after this tractor trailer crashed on I-85 just outside of Charlotte. About 45 miles away, video capturing a driver getting out of the way just seconds before a train collides with his tractor trailer stuck on the tracks. Luckily, no one was hurt. And in the Outer Banks, you can see this house collapsing into the ocean. Nearly the entire state of Florida was under a freeze warning this morning. Police in Sarasota capturing these flurries falling. Irrigation running to protect orange trees, these icicles forming.
It's Punxsutawney Phil!
And on this Groundhog Day in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, the famous groundhog named Phil declaring more winter ahead.
On Sunday alone, more than 6,000 flights were delayed and about 1,500 were canceled. And we could see even more travel disruptions with more snow expected this week. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Okay, Rena, thanks. Punxsutawney Phil isn't the only groundhog making predictions today.
I know. We want to thank you, and we think you might like this better offer.
Willie looked skyward to the east, then behind to the ground, and stated clearly in groundhogese, "I definitely do not see a shadow."
All right, there's some technicality going on here. We'll discuss with Greg a little bit later on, but closer to home, Woodstock Willie forecasting an early spring. You see his prognostication read by the actor Stephen Tobolowsky. He played the pesky insurance agent in the movie Groundhog Day, which was filmed, of course, right there in Woodstock. The town has been holding a Groundhog Day festival ever since then.
Now, he really looks proud.
I mean,
today he looks proud.
And, you know, there was conversation because Greg is a scientist. The sun wasn't shining, so, of course, Willie didn't see his shadow, but we want to go with the positive.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly. We choose to believe, you know, whatever we want to believe about the rest of the winter. I will say that Woodstock Willie, our homegrown talent, is notoriously better than Punxsutawney Phil.
Man, you did the data earlier at the top of the show with that Staten Island furry dude,
know,
man.
it's Chucky.
Staten Island Chuck. Yeah. Staten Island Chuck sounds like a dude I want to have a beer with. Like, let's not to mention he's 80.
Not Woodstock Willie?
No, you know, I'd have a bevy with Woodstock Willie to really anybody that asks. But Staten Island Chuck,
easy date.
85%, like
impressive.
That's good. That's good. 26 degrees right now in Chicago, 18 in Madison. For what it's worth, Woodstock Willie's going with early spring. I think the smart money is on Woodstock Willie this year when you look at the extended forecast, not only for the next couple of weeks, but also beyond that. Right now we're in the upper teens to about 20 degrees. Our daytime high today, yet another day below the freezing mark. And I say this, you know, calling for an early spring, knowing full well that while we were in the upper 20s today, 17 days we spent below the freezing mark back to January 16th, 17 days in a row. It's our longest streak that we've done that in the last 5 years. If we make it here a couple more days, it'll be our longest streak that we've stayed below freezing in the last 10 years. So it's quite the stretch. It hasn't been a wildly cold stretch, but it's been a long time since we've actually been able to say we're honestly melting snow because of the air temperature and not just the intensity of the solar radiation. So we've got the satellite and radar up, and I've got another clipper system with this northwesterly flow that we've had during this trend. It's been not only a cold forecast on and on and on, but also a very clippery 21. We're basically on the railroad tracks for any clipper system that moves out of Canada. And here's another one. Again, later on tonight, clipper systems, a burst of snow possible, maybe a dusting on the ground. We get nickeled and dimed by snowfall from these as we're in about the mid to upper teens as nighttime lows tonight. Tomorrow, we'll be in about the mid-20s, a return to sunshine for us, still staying below 32 degrees. And here's where the good news starts. Got a chance of breaking that streak here on Thursday, Friday. If for some reason that doesn't go to plan, we've got a cold weekend, scattered snow showers on Sunday, but then look at this. We gotta get freezing here by the middle of next week. High temperatures may even be pushing close to 40 degrees. Extending that out all the way past Valentine's Day. And there you go. Pretty strong signal for warmer than normal temperatures over us, although it does fade pretty quickly as you head out off to the east. But if you want, the Groundhog's Day forecast, so February, March, and April temperature outlook, it's kind of a coin flip beyond what we got going on next week. A good signal for above normal temperatures in the south, a decent signal for below normal temperatures to the north, and we are right in the 50-50. Probably just going to feel like it's around normal territory before we make it back into the normal temperatures of April and May, which seems so far off, but 60s and 50s daytime highs, they're really only 90, 100 days away.
Okay, I like
spring
that.
is like 48 days away.
Yeah,
something
it's
like
close.
that. Okay.
It's close.
Yeah.
History made at the Grammys last night.
Yeah, it was fantastic performances. Take a look back at some of the biggest moments from music's biggest night. Coming up next on the other side. This was
That part was a little wrong.
Right.
Yeah. '68th Annual Grammy Awards. They're in the books.
And last night's show was jam-packed with some powerful performances and some very emotional moments as well. ABC's Joelle Gargiulo, she has a wrap for you.
The 68th Grammy Awards kicked off with a bang in the form of a performance by Bruno Mars and Rosé. It was performance after performance. Sabrina Carpenter, Cat's Eye, a stripped-down Justin Bieber, an amped-up Lady Gaga, Tyler, the Creator, and more taking the stage.
Tell your mama, tell your daddy.
As for the awards, Kendrick Lamar took home the first Grammy of the evening for Best Rap Album, making history while he was at it. Now the most awarded rapper in Grammy's history.
Thank you.
Olivia Dean nabbed Best New Artist. Lady Gaga added some more golden gramophones to her collection. Pharrell Williams accepted the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award. And then the night took a heartfelt turn, paying tribute to the musical icons we've lost. Reba McEntire led the In Memoriam.
We can't feel their shoes.
Post Malone and Slash took over playing homage to Ozzy Osbourne.
And the fumes of bodies burning.
And Lauryn Hill, who reunited with Wyclef, closed out the tributes honoring the late D'Angelo and Roberta Flack. Back to the awards, Song of the Year went to Wildflower by Billie Eilish. And in one of the most talked about moments of the evening, Cher presented Record of the Year to...
Oh, the Grammy goes to Luther Vandross!
No, not Luther Vandross, rather Kendrick Lamar and SZA for Luther. As for the biggest award of the night, it's a place in the record books for...
And the Grammy goes to Bad Bunny, Debí Toda.
That's right, Bad Bunny made Grammy history as the first Spanish-language Album of the Year winner.
I want to dedicate this award to all the people that had to leave their homeland, their country to follow their dreams.
Joelle Gargiulo, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Live performances. Oh, before we finish and talk about that, the Grammy Awards broadcast coming to ABC7 starting next year.
Yay!
The 69th annual Grammys airing exclusively on Disney Plus, Hulu, and ABC. What was your
Love
favorite
to be
part,
on the red
Cheryl?
carpet. I mean, so many Billie Eilish was fantastic. The history that was made, Kendrick Lamar was fantastic. Steven Spielberg is now an EGOT. He won last night as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Cher, it was great to see her.
Justin Bieber bringing the country back together.
Justin Bieber was fantastic.
We've seen worse slips than what Cher did. She gets a pass.
Fantastic.
She's Cher.
We loved it. It was a great show. And the top new artist, Adele. We'll see you at 10 at ABC7.